Imagine this. You wake up one morning and the rent is higher again. Groceries are higher, gas is higher, and you realize no matter how hard you work, you're still paying off somebody else's mortgage. What if you could flip that? What if you were the one earning the rent checks instead of writing them? What if in less than a year, you could build something that's actually earning wealth for you even while you sleep? Today, I'm gonna break down exactly what your best options are to start investing in real estate, even if you don't have a lot of money, and how you can start investing today, so you can really grow your generational wealth, all from real estate investment stocks all the way to new constructions and fix and flips. We're going to be talking about the best method for you to get started today, based on risk, return, and, well, reality. Because the truth is, there's only a few ways people are actually earning money with real estate right now. And don't worry, because this is not going to be like one of those guru videos. I'm definitely not a guru myself. My name is Anita. I'm a pretty new real estate investor. Definitely not one of those mastermind gurus out on the internet. And why should you listen to me? I started investing just a year ago as your normal average gal that had a $32,000 a year job. And within the last year, I've been able to own over $1 million in real estate assets, and I'm going to show you what actually works in the modern day, because a lot of these gurus out here are still spouting this advice that simply does not work for somebody who wants to get started today, even if you don't have a lot of money up front. So make sure to stick around till the end of the video. All right, first up are real estate investment trusts, also called REITs. You can buy these like stocks. It's super easy to get started, like $10, $100, whatever, and it's kind of like buying a stock. You just invest in it, hope that it will slowly go up over time. But here's the thing with these. You don't actually own any property, you just own shares of a company that owns all the properties. So you don't get any of the benefits like the cash flow, the equity, or actually owning anything for yourself. So yeah, you're gonna make some money, but you're only gonna earn like 0.0001% of what this company makes every single year. It's really not a lot of money. So that's why I'd rate REITs probably a 3 out of 10 for building long-term wealth, because long-term wealth comes in ownership, where you are the owner of something and you have control and leverage over that thing. And unfortunately with these, you're just gonna be a shareholder for life. Okay, so here's the one where most people start, and it's long-term rentals and house hacking. This is the most like basic way to get into real estate, where you buy a house and you just rent it out to somebody else. So long-term rentals, they can probably bring in like on average around $300, maybe $500 if you're lucky of cash flow every single month. The reason why I don't love it for newer investors like myself is because you need a lot of money if you want to keep scaling this. Sure, most of us might be able to muster up gaining a couple of $1,000s and putting it into our first house, but now the second, third, fifth house, it's a lot harder to afford down payments for that. I don't know about you guys, but your girl certainly does not come from a rich family. So for me, that seems like it would be impossible to just buy 10 houses randomly with hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. And you can do something called house hacking. So you get a primary residence mortgage. Basically just means a loan that has better terms than the other guys, and you live in the house for a year and rent out the other rooms in the house. Now, this is not practical for a lot of people. I have actually tried house hacking myself, where I had a 2-bedroom, I was in one of the rooms, and then I had a tenant in the other room next to me, and it was literally a nightmare situation. My roommate ended up being addicted to substances that I'm not allowed to name because I don't want to get my channel removed, and on top of that, she used to be a party rocker up until like 4 or 5 in the morning. Every single night. My girl lost her job because of this, and she was in the house all day long partying. Yeah, I would not recommend this at all unless you really know that person or have done enough interview with that person to know that they're going to be a good fit for living in your home. And by the way, if you want, make sure to subscribe, because I've got the whole story about that craziness and how to prevent it from happening to you on my channel here. I'd rate this method a 7 out of 10 just because it's beginner friendly and literally anybody can get started in it if you have maybe like 40, 50 grand squirreled away, or less if you do something like an FHA loan where you only need to put down like 3.5% of the property's price, but the problem is again, like, I just don't think it's super scalable. Okay, this next one is just loved by every single guru I've ever heard out on YouTube. This is the BRRRR method. Buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat. It is one of the most powerful wealth building tools if you have experience, but a normal gal like me that had no experience starting in real estate and is still learning, not great. And again, you need a first chunk of cash to get started. You need a lot of money. Rehabbing old homes and making them look pretty again is not cheap. Buying the house in the first place is not cheap. And especially when you're buying as an investor, you can't use really low down payment types of loans. Things like FHA, or even things like a quick 5% down primary residence mortgage loan is not going to be available for you. So to break this down in English for people like me, it means that if you don't live in the house, the loan that they're gonna give you is just not gonna be as good as if you had lived in the house. Usually there's way better terms and lower interest rates for people who actually live inside of the house. And the idea of this is that the lender thinks, hey, if they live there, they're probably gonna take a lot more care of the property, they're actually gonna pay the mortgage on time, and there's less risk. So that's why they do that. Now the thing is, yeah, you might be able to squirrel up some money and get a good loan on your first property, but if you're doing the BRRRR method, your loan terms are not going to be as good and you're going to really need some money to keep investing. So for a total beginner, like a 4 out of 10. And this is not the method I use to get started in real estate and build my wealth in under a year. For someone experienced though, like an 8 out of 10. It really does work in the long term, but it has to be done right. And it's so tough for beginners, especially like myself, because I have no idea, like when something breaks, what's like the cheapest and fastest method to get it done? How do I completely remodel this property? Like what are things that I should look out for? What are things that the market is gonna like? What are upgrades that that neighborhood is gonna like? And what's gonna make that property even more expensive? These are all things that as a new investor, you have to really research. Okay, so this is your girl's favorite way of investing, and this is the way I was able to own 7 units in under a year. Like I literally actually started investing around September 2024. That's when I bought my first property. And fast forward to now, I own over 7 units. And here's exactly how I did it. It was with new constructions. With new constructions, you don't have to have a ton of money upfront to start out. What I did was I actually opened up an LLC, and I had good credit, so I was actually able to apply for very high limit credit cards with my LLC. With these high limit credit cards, I'm talking about over $20,000 limit on each of these cards, and all of these cards were 0% APR for their first year. And now with the 0% APR, I don't pay any interest while the property is getting built for like $200,000, for example. I plan on selling them. Their retail value is over $400,000. So literally, you just make over $200,000 without using any of your own money. There's no massive down payment and there's no crazy loan requirements this way. And it's a brand new home. There's no repairs like you have to do in the BRRRR method, and there's no drama, which is your girl's favorite. And this is why I give new constructions a 10 out of 10 for newer investors like myself. And another amazing thing I'm doing with my new constructions is I'm actually splitting them up into multiple different units, all within the same house. Here's the reason why. When I was working my normal 9-to-5 job, before I was able to leave that job, my lender said, hey girl, you do not qualify for a lot of homes. I can't get 6-7 different mortgages because my lender would say, how in the world is this normal girl making a low wage going to be able to pay for 7 different properties? It would probably laugh in my face and just wish me on my way. So I had to get creative. And this is what a lot of older investors don't understand, is that a lot of us new people getting into real estate, we're not rich multimillionaires and we just want to get started, and we don't have a ton of extra money backing us up, or connections or builders and investors on our contact list. We need to get more creative as to how we can actually start investing in properties and actually owning something for ourselves. So what I did was I built 2 3-bedroom houses, and then I split up the rooms. So not only do I just make over $200,000 in equity as soon as the property is built, but now I can also split up the rooms and make more cash flow on things like short-term rentals like Airbnb fee, and now I can own more units for less cost. So this gives you way more access, way more leverage, and you can actually show lenders in the future when you want to purchase more properties, hey, I don't just have 3 properties, I have 6 units that are all making their own individual cash flow, and use those individual cash flows for the next property that you want to buy. I know, genius, right? I wish I could say it's my idea, but it wasn't. I just learned this stuff from watching videos like this. And this method is really great for people who are just wanting to start, but they can't invest hundreds of thousands of dollars. Even if you're an experienced investor or someone brand new, this can work. Also, if this video has helped you in any way so far, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel, as I'm gonna be sharing with you the exact step-by-step process I used to get those credit cards, actually be able to find the new construction and build out the whole thing, even without doing a lot of work or having a lot of knowledge. So if you wanna learn how to invest in real estate, maybe as a new investor, or you wanna get into new constructions as a more experienced investor, you'll definitely wanna follow along. Also, I'm trying to build a small community of other people who want to grow together. Down in the description, there's also like a little newsletter and a little Facebook group that I'm trying to build up just so we can all share our knowledge and learn from each other's mistakes, etc., and grow together. Because I don't know about anybody else, but I think there's so much power in community and learning mistakes from other people so that you don't make them yourself, and it can save you so much time as well as money. So whether you start with an REIT, a new construction, or a rental, just remember, it's not about money. It's about having a plan. And if I can figure this out learning as I go, so can you. This is your sign to get started. And if you want to keep learning more, make sure to click on this video here. I'll see you in the next one.